Hello, and welcome to Mombasa. So today is Veda Day 12, and I couldn't think of anything to talk about, so I looked at Amy's calendar, and it said to do your favorite work music, and so I'm actually pretty excited about this, because I have some really excellent work music that I really enjoy. So what I listen to is soundtracks usually. I don't usually listen to classical music, which I do a lot of, because I'm a classical musician. I don't listen to it while I work, specifically because usually the stuff that I have on my playlist is stuff that I've already done or stuff that I am doing right now, and it's just too distracting because I recognize all the music and it's really difficult for me to like get in the zone where, well, Overture to Candide is blasting in my ears or something. Also, Overture to Candide is just distracting by itself. But anyway, what I listen to is soundtracks. I love soundtracks. And I am going to try to restrain myself from going on and on about them because I already filmed this once and the video was way too long. So I've restricted myself to giving a list of 3 composers with 2 pieces each for them. It hurt my heart to remove some of the things that I did, but here it goes anyway. So soundtrack composers that I really like. So the list would not be complete without John Williams because everybody knows John Williams. You know, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Indiana Jones. He is the big soundtrack composer, so I'm just gonna give 2 of my favorites of his. Across the Stars from the 3rd Star Wars prequel. I don't know how I feel about the 3rd Star Wars prequel. I actually haven't seen it in ages, but the music, Across the Stars, the love theme, is the most amazing love theme. It is so dark, so ominous, so passionate. It's really good. Then there's Buckbeak's Flight from Buckbeak. I can say Buckbeak. Buckbeak's Flight. There we go. Buckbeak's Flight from Harry Potter number 3. I don't know what it is with the number 3, but oh my goodness, the music from either of those movies. Buckbeak's Flight from the 3rd movie. It's from that scene where Harry is riding Buckbeak across the lake, and it was actually a really awkward scene in the books but it turns out the hippogriffs are really awkward to ride, and Harry didn't like it that much. But in the movie, it was a really cool scene. So, and the music was fantastic. So that's my favorite one from the Harry Potter soundtrack. Then we're gonna move on to Hans Zimmer. I will not say any more John Williams things. Okay, Hans Zimmer. I love the Interstellar soundtrack, especially No Time for Caution. That one's my personal favorite. And I also am a huge fan of the Inception soundtrack, particularly Mombasa and Time. I'm doing a thing with Time, but that'll come up later. And then, finally, it hurts my heart to skip all of these other amazing composers and pieces. John Powell. No, wait, I have 4 composers. I'm doing 4 composers. I don't care. I said I was doing 3 composers. I'm doing 4. Okay, the 3rd one is John Powell, purely because of the How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack, which is an amazing soundtrack. My 2 favorite pieces from that soundtrack are Together We'll Map the World from the 2nd movie and New Tale from the 1st movie. They're just, oh my goodness, it's so Nordic and it's so amazing, it's so beautiful. And then my final composer is Raman Djawadi, who did the Game of Thrones soundtrack, and now I know you're probably gonna be appalled when I say that I have never seen Game of Thrones, and please don't recommend it to me in the comment section. You see, you've got to remember that I'm the sort of person who doesn't make videos on Sunday for religious reasons. But I don't watch Game of Thrones, but the soundtrack is fantastic. My personal favorite from that soundtrack is Winds of Winter. I don't know what's going on in the movie when it goes, but when that song is playing, but the use of the choir, wow. And also, my other favorite Raman Djawadi is from the Westworld soundtrack, another show that I don't watch if you know anything about Westworld, but the soundtrack, it's a bunch of arrangements of old rock songs and stuff, and it's really good. My favorite one is Exit Music for a Film. It's a piano-cello arrangement by Radiohead. I'm not biased because it's piano-cello at all. Those are just the 2 instruments that I play. Also, it introduced me to Exit Music for a Film, the original version by Radiohead, which has become one of my favorite songs outside of soundtracks and everything. So, yes, I will stop now. That is it. I will not talk any more about soundtracks. That's some of my favorite music that I listen to. There's a lot more, but that's the best music to listen to when I work because soundtracks, a lot of them are capable of fading into the background. Some, especially stuff by John Williams, is really melodic and pops out, but I can't help it, it's really good. So, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you really like watching people geek out about soundtrack music, and maybe subscribe to my channel, although this is not what I talk about the whole time. Please, if you like to listen to soundtracks, then please leave some in the comments. I'm always looking for more. And if you just have some music that you like to listen to when you work, tell me about it down there, and I will see you in the next video. This has been Beta Day 12, and end scene. Goodbye!